Hello everyone and welcome back to our second video for reviewing with regard to our first quiz that is coming up pretty soon. There is one correction I'd like to make that I made a little mistake on with regard to number 4. What are the 3 ways in which we can harvest timber? One, yes, is clear cutting. Another one, yes, is the selective method or selective cutting. I wrote strip cutting as another method. The other method that was in your notes was a seed tree or shelter wood. Seed tree or shelter wood. And those are the same. Essentially what it looks at doing is taking down larger trees to allow for those smaller trees to grow up and take over. That way you're kind of clearing out the brush, taking down the amount of shade that is there that is cast by the larger trees. So these are your 3 ways: clear, selective cutting, and seed tree and shelter wood. Okay, those 2 are together. All right, so our second video now will take us from questions 8 through the remainder, question 14. So let's get this erased and let's get this started. So while we're erasing, I just like to know, how you guys are doing with everything. Hopefully you're doing well. Make sure you're emailing me with any questions. I will always get back to you guys. Make sure you are logging into those Zoom times that I put out. And make sure you guys are staying healthy and staying active, okay? So let's start up. Number 8, what is deforestation and why is it bad? Deforestation is the cutting down of a forest. You're essentially cleaning it all out. You're taking down all the trees. Now, why do you think it's bad? Think about this. What do trees produce? They take in carbon dioxide and they release, what is it? Oxygen. Very good. So they are releasing oxygen. When you cut down trees, right? When you clear land, when you clear a forest, you're essentially clearing the organisms, the trees that produce oxygen, that take in the carbon dioxide. So what's going to happen now? More carbon dioxide will start to build up in the atmosphere. The atmosphere is going to begin to get overloaded by this carbon dioxide. Excuse me, okay? All right, what's another reason why deforestation is bad? So let's start to make a list. 8. Deforestation is bad because more CO2 in atmosphere, less oxygen. What else? What about more erosion? Remember, those tree roots, they hold together the soil. So without the tree roots there, the soil will not be able to be held together as easily. So we're going to get more erosion. Tree roots also do something else. They help to filter the groundwater. Okay, so we're losing filtration. Loss of filtration. Anything else you guys can think about? What's that? Yeah, you in the back? No? Okay, what about you? Uh-huh. It's a wonderful idea. Yeah. What about habitat loss? So all of these things will result from deforestation and explain why it's bad. Okay. Number 9, how do trees and other forest plants help the soil from being eroded? All right, so we kind of talked about this a little bit. So with regard to number 9, we have a tree here, right? And that tree sends out roots. There's our ground, right? So what these roots do is they hold all of this soil together, okay? They lock it in place. If I were to take a plant and it has a very strong root system, and I were to take it out of its pot, all that dirt would stay there. Now, if I were just to have a pot with dirt and dump it over, all the dirt would come out. But when you have all those roots intertwining and creating a network of systems it holds. It's going to hold the dirt in place. Think about if you've ever poured cement or concrete, right? We put stuff called rebar in there. We put this rebar in there in a grid-like pattern, and that is to keep the concrete all stable and together. It locks it in place. It reinforces it. Tree roots do the same thing. They reinforce the soil. They lock it in place. Okay? And without them there, the soil will just wash away. All right, let's keep on keeping on, guys. Number 10, what is the National Forest Management Act? The National Forest Management Act. I'll give you guys a quick second. Think about what it is while I'm erasing this. I take a quick drink. You guys think about this for 1 second. All right, and we are back. So, did you guys get that answer? What is the National Forest Management Act? So, the National Forest Management Act, this is number 10. National Forest Management Act. The National Forest Management Act says that there needs to be a resource management plan made for each national forest. Resource management plan made for each national forest. So what does that mean? Well, each forest needs a plan. We need to understand how many resources we could take out. This is also aligning with maximum sustainable yield. Maximum sustainable yield. We want to make sure that this resource management plan aligns with maximum sustainable yield. We want to know how much we could take out without harming the environment, without harming the habitat, without drawing too many of those resources out. Okay, so that's what the National Forest Management Act is. Number 11, where does most of the U.S. logging take place and why? 11, most of the U.S. logging takes place on privately owned land. Those are tree plantations. Okay, tree plantations. All right, spelled privately wrong. Huh. See, even your teacher makes mistakes. Now, you need to also understand that there is logging done in national forests, but the majority takes place on the privately owned land. Okay. Let's see. Number 12. What is a prescribed burn? A prescribed burn is anyone? Anyone? Yes, you in the back. Yeah, you. What is a prescribed burn? A prescribed burn is when people go in and actually light fire. Yep, keep going. Keep going, you're doing excellent. They actually light fire to the land, and that's to burn up any of the unused fuel, I believe. That's an excellent job. Good job. Good job. Did you guys get that? All right, good job. So what is a prescribed burn? So in a forest, you have trees, right? But you also have this other brush. You got dead trees maybe, right? It's laying down, it's kind of dead. So you got all these living trees, but then you have this underbrush, okay? You have dead trees down there. What a prescribed burn will do is people will actually set fire. Let me actually get a red marker. People will set fire to the ground and they'll burn up all of this underbrush, because what this underbrush is it acts as fuel. And if enough of it builds up, what will actually happen is when and if you do get a naturally occurring forest fire, it'll just be more fuel to burn. And what that could do is it can get so hot that you actually have the trees catch on fire, and you get what's called a crown fire. And the fire will actually jump from tree to tree. So what forest management individuals will do is they will go through and they will burn. It's like a prescription, right? They will physically burn all the underbrush, all the fuel, right, that's down there. They keep it controlled, they monitor it, but they are using up the fuel. That way it doesn't build up. It's a very, very important and well-used management way to manage forest floors. Okay, let's see. 13, why are prescribed burns an important part of forestry? We kind of answered this. It burns up that fuel on the ground. That way it doesn't build up when there is a natural forest fire. That way the whole forest doesn't burn. Okay, so we're trying to keep up with it. We're trying to like take out our trash, right? You take out your trash every week because you don't want to let it build up. Same thing here. You go through and you do prescribed burns because you don't want to let that fuel, the dead timber, the underbrush, the leaves, you don't want to let that build up because then there's going to be too much. And when there is a fire, it's just going to all go up. Okay, so we want to monitor that. And then our last one, number 14, why is it dangerous to allow an area to go without a prescribed burn? Again, we answered that as well. You don't want to let an area go without a prescribed burn because all of that fuel will mount up until it reaches such a point when there is a naturally occurring fire, forest fire, or wildfire. It will just burn and it will be uncontrollable. And that's what we see a lot of times in California, right when we go back to school in those August, September, October months. So I hope this has helped you guys. Please email me with questions, ask questions, go through your study guide, go through these videos, look back at your other videos, okay? I will link a playlist to this. Actually, you are on the environmental science playlist already. I will link some other videos to this. Make sure you go back and watch the PowerPoint videos. It takes you through all the notes. I'm right there with you. All right, guys. I know you guys will do great on your quiz. I have faith in all of you. If you have questions, please email me and let me know. All right, guys, make sure to watch those notes videos. I will see you all in another video. Good luck. Take care, guys. Mr. Ref. Bye, guys.